Leo, did you know there's humans on the other end of that internet thing?
No, they're all robots. That's not true at all. All the developers, all the people on Discord, all of the people on Reddit and Lemmy and everywhere else. I think I'm the only human.
Yeah, they're just bots on the other end, right?
Yeah. I think that includes you too.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'm not real. I'm AI.
No. Yeah, there are humans. It turns out, and those humans, have expectations and intentions, and they understand things differently than you may have intended them to be. Turns out.
So this segment is sparked by a tweet by one of my Lubuntu teammates, Simon Quigley. And essentially, I'm going to pick out the first quote that I'm going to pick out here. It says, open source is more than open code. It's open collaboration and open community. So I think that sets a tone for what we're talking about here, right? It's something that we harbor very well, I think, is a great community, and it's the focus of this.
Yeah, if I were a good podcaster / video person on the internet, I would have gone back. We actually have an episode with the main topic being this before.
You did.
And it was like in season 2. It was at least right. 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. And it was called Linux Friendly Space.
It was. Yeah.
And it's not exactly the same, but it's in the same ballpark.
Absolutely.
Where there are people.
Yeah.
So, setting the tone. So Simon says, in open source projects, you find a variety of contributors. Some have been around for decades. Others have been around for months. Some are paid for their work. Others do it out of the kindness of their heart. Some people are just starting out in the tech industry and need a place of belonging. Others have been in the tech industry for decades. Given these facts, it's important that everyone works well together when the opportunity to accomplish collaborative work presents itself. An often forgot mantra in the Linux community specifically is know your audience. Understanding who you're talking to and why you're talking to them is as critical, if not more important than the message itself. People lose focus. It can be easier sometimes to tell someone to just RTFM or ignore them because if they would just duck go it this specific way, remember that you too were once that inexperienced. On the other side of this, dealing with people more experienced than you, remember that basic respect goes a long way. I've met many people who are critical contributors to major projects, but if you walked by them in the streets, you'd never know. We need to be compassionate and respectful toward these people as well. Their mistakes may be more impactful, but they put their shoes on one foot at a time, just like you and I. If everyone feels good when contributing to an open source project, it will continue. If you let sour emotions get the best of you and everyone in the project, it will consume the project along with it. There are a couple of quotes that you pulled out of this one that I think really kind of encapsulate what Simon's getting at here.
2 that I pulled out beyond the other one. It's if everyone feels good when contributing to an open source project, it will continue. If you let sour emotions get the best of you and everyone in the project, it will consume the project along with it. And when Simon wrote this, I'll give you a little bit of context. There was some friction going on, and we were feeling a little frustrated with some of the things that were happening, and it was bumping up against the holidays, so it was a transition time for like AppArmor or something, and they'd made some changes, and it broke a lot of things, and we were getting, as a project, frustrated in a way, and so the advice here was more than just to the world. It was somewhat directly to us as the Lubuntu contributors too, and that, maybe just walk away for a minute and don't let your emotions get the best of you, right? And that was really sound advice. But I mean, it holds true for a lot of other things too. So that's why I pulled it out and wanted to highlight it.
Yeah, and one of those things specifically was we just had another Linus rant that was heard round the world.
Yeah, not the first time he's done that, that's for sure.
Yeah, and it was specifically to a Google engineer, and if rumors are true, then a little bit of the code that was selected to be given upstream to the Linux kernel directly was a ChatGPT written function that supposedly the Google engineer did not know what it did. But Dan and I were talking about it prior to the show, and you don't have to be the most amazing communicator in the entire world. You just have to have a little empathy. And I get and I understand that I don't think this was the first time this was tried.
No.
To be upstreamed. So I get that the frustration is building and building and building.
The words that we came up with were, don't confuse passion with compassion.
And I think that's how people describe Linus. And a lot of that...
He's passionate. He is passionate.
Yeah. A lot of that 90s hacker culture attitude has continued on. It still lives on today, and I think Linus kind of embodies a whole lot of it, though he's gotten better over time.
Much better.
Yeah. He's very good at not directly attacking the person and attacking the code instead, but there's still a lot of work to be done.
Oh, yeah.
And Linus is not the only one. He's just the most relevant example as we're recording this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the passion-compassion thing. Like, you can have all the passion in the world, but you also have to temper that with compassion.
Yeah.
Because without it, those kinds of messages, and you can be straight and blunt and to the point, but those messages come off really bad and really, really off-puts people that could be contributors to the project.
I was going to say, do you have a project if you're the only one contributing?
Right. And there's a lot of status to be had when you're one of the kernel contributors. But even
that's high level. That needs to be high level for a reason. I get that.
Yeah.
Like, it absolutely does. It's the core of everything that we do.
And just last month, Hector Martin kind of had a bit of a falling out for the same reasons, where he was calling out very specific things that were not great. And the way that he put them was not the best way to put that kind of stuff. But the cool thing about Hector, one of the most amazing things about Hector, beside the fact that he is one of the preeminent Apple M series Mac kernel developers. I mean,
he might go down as the best reverse engineer ever. I mean, I'm not kidding. Like, look at the things he's done, right? It's amazing to me.
Yeah. One of the most amazing things about him, besides his code, is that he's self-aware. And when mistakes like that are brought up to him, he takes them, internalizes them, learns from them, and does better. And that's something that I think, nobody has to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to write the perfect email every single time. But you do have to take that feedback when it's coming at you from all sides, because maybe, just maybe, they have a point.
Listen, we make code iterative. There's no reason the person behind it can't be too.
Listen, Linus 3.0 may one day get here, but 2.0 is better.
Much better. That's all I can say. Like, it is much better. Yeah, no, I remember the 90s.
There is a stark absence of name calling. So, it is better, and he should be praised for stuff. Linus should be praised for stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
But there's work to be done. There's still work to be done.
And so the final quote that I got here that I pulled out was, remember that you were once inexperienced too. And so, absolutely, like, everyone has a starting place, and if you don't help foster their growth, they might not. And then, that gives them a bad taste, and they're not going to help you with your project, and it's just a bad look. Don't do that. Like, don't tell people to go read the manual. Give them an answer, and then tell them for follow-up information they should go read the manual. I feel like it's not the thing you said, it's the way you said it, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
And specifically in the Ask Me Anything for KDE, I actually got an RTFM type answer, but in the right way.
Yeah.
And this is actually one of my favorite things about this. And so the question was, what's the best or recommended way to test out Plasma 6 RC2, right? But it turns out there's actually a document that tells you that answer. I didn't know that existed, but I do now. And all it said was it quoted my question and said, see also, and a direct link to the direct paragraph that answered my question. You do not have to be a jerk about it. And this is a good way, in the least amount of words,
I was going to say, didn't have to say a lot either.
Exactly. But, RTFM versus see also.
Right.
It makes a huge difference in the impact when that lands to someone that's receptive to that type of answer, right?
It's a nudge instead of a shove.
There you go. Oh, I like that. That's a good way to put it.
So no, it was a good approach. It's something I try to be cognizant of when I'm giving support live in the chats for various different things. I'd be like, okay, well, here's how you do that, but have you looked at our manual? Because it's pretty great, and it could help you in the future if you need to refer to this.
There's a good way to do those kinds of things.
Right.
Those interactions where you have to say that kind of thing. There are better ways.
Yep. And so I just want to round it out and saying that, I love my Lubuntu teammates. They give me great food for thought, even though they weren't even trying for that. Yeah, I love this tweet. I just can't get enough of it. So hopefully we can spread it around again, because I know sometimes Twitter falls off if it's not there in the first 24 hours. So hopefully
Mastodon's not like that. I did a toot. Do we still call them toots? I don't know.
I guess so.
I posted a toot, and it was 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was.
And you're still getting feedback on it, right?
Yeah, I was joke complaining about the amount of updates that I was getting from Rawhide, because it's every day, man.
Yeah, it's fun.
And I still get a like or a what is it? A boost?
Boost.
It's just a boost, not
it's
a reboot.
Just a boost. Yeah, it's just a boost.
Okay, yeah. And so they trickle in every now and then. And I think that's great.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't really get that on the other platforms.
You don't get that in the X or the Twitter or whatever we're calling that.
Yeah. Once it's buried, it's buried.
Yeah, 24 hours later, it's gone.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can spark it up again, and that'll be great.
So catch these and other great topics as they unfold on our Lemmy, our subreddit, our news channel on Discord. Oh my God, that reminds me. I forgot to put the news stuff on Discord. Oops. Sorry, Discord people.
Whoops-a-daisy.
But to get to any of those places, my favorite thing is linuxuserspace.show/thething, and that's Lemmy, Reddit, Discord, Mastodon, Telegram, Matrix, Twitch, and Twitter. So any of those things that you want to get a hold of us on, or you just want to you want to catch the news feed, because there's a lot of good news, and sometimes I get a little overwhelmed. It takes a couple days for that stuff to come out, but it's a really cool thing to just, even if you don't want to be on those social things, you can subscribe to the Lemmy in RSS.
Absolutely. Yeah, you don't have to actually log in or any of that stuff. You can still see all the posts. They're public, and you can subscribe to that. In whatever way you want to do that, you can do that, and they'll be there.
Yep. But don't forget that if for some reason you are, I don't know, maybe wanting a username at lemmy.linuxuserspace.show, we have those, and any patron, doesn't matter how much you pay, any patron is eligible for one of those usernames.
But yeah, no, absolutely reach out to us. Let us know that you did that, so that we know that you're a human and it's not just a bot trying to sign up. So that'd be great. But yeah, like if you're a patron, definitely, if you want to join, we'll get you set up.
Yep. Just sign up in the little comment section. Just, I'm a patron. Yep. And if your Lemmy username is not the same as your Patreon username, then, just tell us what your Patreon username is, and we'll get that approved.
That way we can link them together and we know that you are you.
Yep. Exactly. So join us on Lemmy or any of the other
Absolutely.
places. Lemmy's just kind of cool because it's ours as opposed to on some platform, right?
Yep.
And it's an easy way to get to that cool KDE AMA. So you could do that too.
Yep. You can catch all the great links at linuxuserspace.show. And coming up in the next segment, we got feedback. So if you want to send some feedback to us, you can do it via email. That's contact@linuxuserspace.show.